All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here to start off the new week. It is Monday, May 17th, 2021. Before we get started here today, let me make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out. Waiting for it, YouTube, waiting for it. Well, while I wait for it, let me make sure that the back end of YouTube is rolling smoothly. Let me make sure. The back end is rolling smoothly. The notification, at least on my end, has not gone out. Why not? What's going on? Let's make sure that we're on the right account. We are. Still hasn't gone out. YouTube, what are you doing? Well, how many of you got a notification? Let me know if you got it, because it did not come to me. But maybe YouTube is running a little bit slow. But we should be good. We should be good. And so with only 8 concurrent viewers here, that's telling me that there's a simulcast going on. And we're just going to keep flagging down all those simulcasts, just like we've been doing. And I know who's doing the simulcasts. I'm gonna share one final time here today what's going on with everything, and we're moving on. This time we're sincerely moving on, but this is it. So, as a matter of fact, let me see here. Let me check out something here real quick. I want to check something out before we move further. Because some people just don't know when to stop playing. Okay. That's interesting. All right, I just got the YouTube notification. It did go out. So I'm just letting you know, I will find any simulcasts going on, and I will actually flag them during my first break. So just letting you folks know, if you're going to continue to play that game, I'm just going to continue taking you down for copyright. I've already talked with YouTube, like I mentioned on a previous stream. YouTube copyright, YouTube creator support, YT partner support, and also YouTube legal. And I can file as many legal and valid copyright takedowns as I want. And that's just how it's going to have to go. And I have a great track record with YouTube, so they know I'm a legitimate person, and people continue to abuse my content and abuse my intellectual property. They're just going to keep on paying the price, and eventually they'll just shut your channel down for, reuse content or spam and deceptive practices. That's just the way it's going to go, right? We really have to go there. That's the thing. So, anyway, before we go further, let me also pay special props to this channel sponsor. That's none other than the great Troy Brewer. He is the CEO, founder, and owner of the Discover Community Network. For all of your branding and marketing and product service needs, please check out the Discover Community Network. Both the links are below in the description, or there are 2 links below in the description, about a third of the way down. One to the main site and one to one of their many subsidiaries. So check it out. And if you need help with your branding and marketing, Troy and I can definitely help you out. If you would like for me to make the connection personally between you and Troy, you can email me at coacheli@coacheli.com, and I'll do a 3-way email introduction, and we can even have a 3-way phone call if that makes you feel more comfortable. Once again, Troy, thank you very much for your continued sponsorship and patronage of this channel. Much love from Coach Eli. All right. Yeah, lots to talk about. Some people are worried. But first, Stork, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Boom. Good morning, Eli, and everyone. Stork, good morning. I understand you're here on the sock. I appreciate the $5. God bless you if you believe. If not, still God bless you anyway. I'm sure you know who I am and you don't want to be attacked, and I really don't blame you for that. But thank you so much for the $5 super chat to start things off. We're going to start off the channel donations, and I don't know what to actually call it today. So while I think about that, we're just going to leave it at channel donations at $5. Yeah, Stork says, my pleasure. Thank you again, man. I appreciate that. Every little penny counts. It does. It does. And it's more than just the money, man. I don't know if you're male or female. I'm assuming you're a guy. If I'm wrong, my apologies. But, you know, I appreciate everything, even beyond the money. It just shows a level of support. And that's more important than any amount of money. Obviously, you need money to survive. But, you know, having the support, without support, you really have nothing. I appreciate that. Thank you. Today, we're going to be discussing my health. And Mr. J is sincerely moving on. Kudos to you, James. One more time. We're going to be discussing my health, and Mr. J is sincerely moving on. Kudos to you, James. Here's how this show is going to go. It's going to be in two parts. The first part, I'm going to talk about my health. I'm going to share some things that I have not gone public on with anyone. I actually did have a private conversation where I did mention this to a few people, just a couple for the first time yesterday. Because yesterday a lot happened. I'm going to share everything that happened in the most professional and respectful and honest ways. But yeah, I really wasn't feeling that great yesterday. I'm going to be honest. I was talking with a few people on the phone, and I had a meltdown. I did. And I'm not going to lie, but I'm okay. Those things happen. It catches up to you. And I'll share with you folks why. I had that meltdown. I'm really hoping people have sincerely moved on. I know, Jamie, you mentioned that you were going to talk to certain people to not do things in my channel anymore. And I really hope that they're all good on their word. Because if you guys are all good on your word, I'm going to be good on mine. And we're just going to move forward. We're going to create greatness at an individual basis. I'll share more about that in just a little bit, because I sincerely still want to help people. Even some people from the other side, if they're open to the help. And I'm not saying help with, life coaching or anything like that. I'm saying, help with YouTube. And I'm going to also share with you folks why I can help you. I'm going to show you folks some numbers that are going to blow your mind away. I'm going to show it to you on the screen. I took a screenshot of part of my back end of YouTube. I'm going to show you some stats here, which will clearly show you folks why everyone's been trying to eat off my plate. These results are actually quite staggering. And I'm not the kind of guy that likes to show off. I'm not here to show off. I'm just here to show you folks why people have continued to try to, write my name. So yeah, I'm going to talk about my health during the first part. Then the second part, I'm going to talk about Mr. J is sincerely moving on. Kudos to you, James. I will just give you all a little clue, including you, James. I'm sure you're watching and other people are watching. I believe you. There's a reason why I believe you. And I'm going to share that reason during the second part of the show. But I feel it's most important to share with you folks what's been going on with my health and how I need to handle things from here on out and why I'm sincerely moving forward after today. We're going back to regular content. And again, if we occasionally need to talk about some things regarding people, doing stupid things, we'll briefly mention it and we'll move on. And I'm gonna move over most of that content, or even just run those streams from my secondary channel, which is Coach Eli 2 Uncensored Live Streams, formerly known as A Grip on Life 2 Uncensored Live Streams. Same channel, different name. If you want to subscribe to that channel, Nightbot will be sharing that link every 7 to 9 minutes. And please make sure you subscribe and you bang the bell to Coach Eli 2 Uncensored Live Streams. In case anything happens to this channel, or I decide to live stream from there, you folks will get the notification and you'll know when I go live. I'm going to be doing a lot more content on Coach Eli 2 Uncensored Live Streams. So I'm trying to get as many people over there as possible that follow me here on my main channel. This main channel here will still get the bulk of my content. Obviously, it's my monetized channel. And I have Super Chat here, and I have ad revenue and all of that. But there's some content that's, too hot for a monetized channel. It's too hot for the ad-friendly guidelines. It's still within community guidelines, but it's too hot for ad-friendly guidelines. So all that content will either initially be run here live and moved over to Coach Eli 2, or I'll just run the live stream from over there, or any pre-recorded videos, quick pre-recorded videos I need to do regarding, things I need to talk about some other people. They'll be done over on Coach Eli 2. But again, like I said, sincerely, for the most part, I'm really done. And I'm going to explain to you more so why here when I start to share with you a little bit more about, my health and where it's been and where it's at right now. Now, let me get to the chat first before I talk about that. Let's get over to the chat. Stork says, woohoo, welcome to the show. Thanks again for the $5 super chat, Stork. Queen Helen Casey, the queen is here. She says, you're good. Welcome, Queen Helen Casey. BWA Gaming's in the house. Hello, Eli and everyone. Queen says, hello, gaming. BWA Gaming says, hey, Queen. BWA Gaming also says, hello, Stork. Welcome and thanks for the donation. Thank you for thanking Stork for my donation, BWA Gaming. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. Stork says, my pleasure once again. And BWA Gaming says, that's good. All right. So what's going on with my health? I know when I put the title out there, many people emailed me and private messaged me saying, are you okay? We saw the title of your stream. I'm fine. I'm okay. And I'm going to be okay as long as I make the changes that allow me to recover and be okay. And let me explain more about what I'm talking about. And this is no joke. This is no ploy to get more ratings or traction or, it's not a game. This is the absolute truth, folks, okay? About 3 months ago or so, I went to my doctor's to get a COVID test. And, while I was there, I had my doctor check other vitals out, especially blood pressure. And I found out that I've had very high blood pressure lately due to stress. It's obvious. I've been stressed out. You folks have seen it. I've been fighting a battle that's way beyond what one person can typically handle. It's been like 200 against 1 for the last 3 to 4 years out here on YouTube, in my former channel I used to run, and this one. And so the large amount or amounts of stress that I've been dealing with has shot my blood pressure through the roof. It's high. It's not at a critical level, but it's high. I'm not going to tell you what my blood pressure is. I don't want to scare anybody, but it's high. So I've been taking some medication for it. Now, when I was younger, in my younger days, in my teens through my early to mid 20s, I had high blood pressure because I was dealing with some things back then that I guess have been similar in nature as what's been happening to me out here on YouTube. I'm not going to go into great detail. I've kind of shared those stories in the past throughout many various live streams and videos. But just know, I was dealing with a lot of stress in my teens and throughout my early to mid 20s, and I had high blood pressure during that time. And how I handled that was, I did a lot of work on myself, and I didn't allow things to stress me out anymore. And so between my mid 20s and my early 40s, my blood pressure has been normal. For the last 4 years that I've been out here on YouTube, especially the last 3.5 years, because the first 6 months things were great when I first started running my former channel that I shut down a few years ago. So I'd say for the last 3.5 years, I've been dealing with a lot of things that have been raising my blood pressure and been stressing me out, because I didn't know how to handle things out here on YouTube. And now I've learned to handle them. But even though I've learned to handle them, my blood pressure is still high because I've still been fighting certain things, especially over the last 3 months. I had to fight every single day to get to the point of where I'm at right now regarding all these people that have been coming at me for the last, 3 to 4 years, because they've been paid by a guy that runs a supposed caregiving business, Texas Caregiver Support Services, Brian. So, in addition, most of you are aware that I did pinch a nerve about a year ago. It's been about a year since I pinched a nerve. I was scrutinized for that by many people already, especially, we're just going to say it, JB Gunner, because he pinched a nerve as well. Now, his pinched nerve healed much quicker than mine. I'll tell you why it healed, because he hasn't allowed himself to get stressed out over this YouTube stuff. Plus, he's been a much more established brand on YouTube. We're going to talk more about branding in the second part of the show. We're going to talk about, like in theory and JB Gunner, and it's all going to be positive. No attacking. And myself, and, the importance of branding and why people have been basically trying to ride not only my coattails, Jamie's coattails, and JB Gunner's coattails. I'm going to show you a screenshot of actual stats that will prove this. So there are no doubts in mind. I'm going to show you receipts. Let's put it to you that way. BWI Games says prayers for you, Eli. You really don't need to worry as much as you have been. Wow. BWA Gaming, you didn't need to do that. I have to give you credit. I have to mention this. But seriously, I don't need donations because of this. I mean, I'm going to be fine, okay? I appreciate it. You've already done more than enough, BWA Gaming, and we are going to talk after the show. And this is all going to be resolved. But I want to thank you for the $20 Cash App, BWIA Gaming. That was unnecessary. But I will accept it, because I know if I don't accept it, it's going to be a slap in your face, and I don't want to do that to you. You're just like me. You're just like me. And by the way, BWIA Gaming, we need to talk more about doing that stream, doing those streams on D Live and our collaboration, because there's going to be so much greatness coming, and I'll also share more about that during the second part of the show. Arnie's here. Hey, Arnie. Things that you really didn't need to deal with, all instigated by Jay and his twisted means of making money to buy and pay off a condo, car he doesn't deserve or earn from his own abilities. That is true. But the bottom line is that he's been trying to get out of this for a while. I'm going to explain more about that during the second part of the show. Because after this show, he's going to be doing his own thing, and so am I, and so are many other people. I think he knows that, Arnie, and other people that care about him know that, and I know that. I mean, that's not, anything new, but I get it. I totally understand what you're saying. But as long as, we're willing to move on, he's willing to move on and, we start fresh and move forward, that's all that matters. But going back to my pinched nerve, where am I at? I still have a pinched nerve. I've been saying, my progress on it. It was about 97% healed. The last time I mentioned it, it's just healing very slowly. It's about 99% healed now. I feel even better than I did a few weeks ago. So that's another reason why, I went to see my doctor and my physical therapist, because I was wondering why it was taking so long for my pinched nerve to heal. And I'm typically very intuitive, except when it comes to my own health. I don't think about it because, look, people see me here on the screen. Okay, they call me frail, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm in shape. I'm healthy, and I'm fit, and I appear very healthy, right? But just because I'm fit and I appear very healthy doesn't mean I'm completely healthy. Stress can kill people, and it can also affect other aspects of your body from healing, such as pinched nerves. So the reason why my pinched nerve is taking longer to heal is, number one, I haven't rested that much. And number two, I've been stressing myself out with this YouTube stuff, which is why my doctor told me that I should either take some time away from YouTube or slow it down a bit. Why didn't I do it? Because this is my business now, full time. I don't sell insurance anymore. This is my livelihood. So I'm sitting there listening to what my doctor is saying. And yeah, my doctor's right. But what am I going to do? Do I take a few weeks off for a month and then lose all that revenue that's coming in, including my sponsorship? I couldn't afford to do that. So I kept moving forward, which continued to stress me out. And yesterday, I had a meltdown. I talked with a few people privately, and I had a meltdown. And there were times where I felt like I couldn't breathe. And it's not, I was breathing, but you have to understand, it's kind of like that. Have you heard of convulsions? Have you folks heard of convulsions? Let me read the definition. Convulsions is a sudden, violent, irregular movement of the limb or of the body caused by involuntary contraction of muscles and associated especially with brain disorders such as epilepsy, the presence of certain toxins or other agents in the blood, or fever in children. Well, that's not me. I don't have a brain disorder. Some of you may think I do have a brain disorder, because you're trolls and haters, and I can understand that. But I don't have a brain disorder clinically. Okay, I've not been diagnosed with anything like that. But I felt like I couldn't breathe. It's kind of like that feeling when you're dating a woman and you really love her and you care about her, and she breaks up with you. And you get that feeling like the walls are closing in. Like I was feeling that. And, some other things happen. I'm going to mention more about that in the second part of the show. I'm not going to go into great detail because I don't want to cause any issues, but I really want people to know where I'm at, where this whole situation is at with this entire group of people that have been creating this massive shit show out here on YouTube, and where we're going to be going after today or after this show. I had to do this one final show on this because if not, too many people would be messaging me and emailing me, and they're already doing that. It's overwhelming. So I would just rather do this live. You can see my face, my expressions. You can hear my voice. You can look me in the eyes, and think. You can make your own decision on what you think or don't think. That's up to you. But yeah, so basically, I'm at the point right now, folks, where if I continue to stress myself out, and this is what my doctor told me, okay, you're dealing with very high levels of stress. It's not good for you. Your blood pressure is high. It's not critical, but it's nearing a critical level. And at your age, even though you're healthy and you're fit, if your blood pressure reaches that critical level with the continued added stress, that could create issues for you as you enter your 50s. Some serious issues. And I'm not going to say anything further than that because I don't want to scare anybody. Okay? Just because you're fit and you look good and you sound good doesn't mean that everything internally is functioning properly. Now, that's why I'm really happy that things are moving forward, especially with Mr. J from the L channel. I'm just going to call it that. I'm going to try to be as respectful as possible because he's actually being sincere this time. And in doing this, it's going to allow us to create content at an individual level and allow my stress level to decrease. After those few phone conversations I had last night privately, I really wasn't feeling that great when I was having those calls. I went to bed early, and I actually got up at 2 or 3 in the morning. I've been up since 2 or 3 in the morning, Pacific time, which, is 3 hours later Eastern, 5 or 6 a.m. Eastern. And, when I got up, I was feeling a little bit better. And, I was talking with a few people, because, the East Coast is 3 hours ahead. So even though it's 2 or 3 in the morning where I'm at, it's 5 or 6 a.m. where other people are at, they're waking up. So people were messaging me, and I talked with a few people, and it really made me feel better because I now have a very clear understanding of what's going on. It's not that I didn't have a very clear understanding of what was going on initially. It's now I firmly believe that the other side is, at least when it comes to Mr. J, is going to move forward. I wholeheartedly believe that. And like I said, I will share more about that during the second part of the show. Now I'm going to take a break here in a few minutes early because the second part of the show is probably going to take 45 minutes to an hour. I don't plan on being on here longer than an hour and a half or so. I have some phone calls to make after this, and then I want to relax a little bit more. And, I've got some great things that have been happening in my personal life. I'm going to leave it at that. And, I want to focus more on that. And as far as my personal life goes, I haven't been sharing an incredible amount of my personal life, especially, when it comes to women I actually start to date. I share the stories of the ones that don't work out, and I keep them anonymous. And I'm not saying that I'm not going to publicly make people aware if I start dating someone, but I'm going to do whatever I can to protect their identity, because the last thing I want to see happen to anyone that, I get with in the future is the same thing that happened to my ex Dana. I never ever want to put any woman, let alone anybody, through the scrutiny that she went through, that she didn't deserve one bit. She didn't deserve that shit one bit. And I feel terrible about it to this day, wholeheartedly. I'm over her. These people think I'm not over her, and that's okay. But I still feel bad about putting her or anyone through that situation. But especially her, who was real good to me and genuinely cared about me, and was probably the only woman I've been with that was really sincere with me 100%. And that's not a joke. That's, you want to call it a unicorn, you want to call it whatever. If there's anyone, and I'm not trying to put her on a pedestal, and I don't really care what anyone thinks, but if there's anyone close to unicorn status, that would be Dana. And I'm man enough to come out here and deal with the scrutiny you guys might say to actually say that. I wholeheartedly mean that. And I should have stood up for her back then. I should have white knighted for her back then. I should have, because people were coming at my woman. And I sat there and let them come at her because I didn't want to be called a white knight. What a dumb mistake I made. You want to know something? I did that because I felt it would make me less of a man to white knight for my woman in that situation. But it actually would have made me more of a man. What made me less of a man is the fact that I didn't do it. It was horrible. I own it. I messed up. I didn't mess up on purpose, but I messed up because I cared about what these people thought about me, and I shouldn't have. And that's what I've been trying to help you folks understand out here by sharing my experiences and sharing the mistakes I've made in the past and learning from them. Arnie says, BWY Gaming says, that's good news. Thank you, BWY Gaming. I know I have had them, the convulsions. It's a panic attack. That's what it was. It's not convulsions, it's a panic attack. Yeah. You're right, BWY Gaming. Let's see. Well, let me scroll back here. Arnie says, let's hope, because at the moment, he's a human being with no direction. Hang on a second. Hang on. Arnie, I think he's going to finally do the right thing. I think he's going to do the right thing, man. I'll share more about that during the second part of the show. It's taken a lot of work to get to this point. It took everything that everyone did, including myself. I had to fight at the level I fight it to get this to this point. If I didn't fight it, it would have never stopped. It would have never stopped. I had to fight it. It was either that or leave YouTube and try to do something else off of YouTube. And I didn't want to leave YouTube. I didn't want to do it. I love this platform. Yeah, it has its ups and downs and it changes a lot. But I love the platform. I love Google and YouTube. And people talk smack about them. But listen, if you can't survive on Google and YouTube, then you're not going to make it anywhere else. This is Hollywood, folks. YouTube is Hollywood. It's the new Hollywood. This is the main stage. If you get run off YouTube, you might as well throw in the frickin' towel of your business. No, you can run your business in different ways off of YouTube, if YouTube, like for coaches and people that have a message that don't have a tangible product and sell a service, this is the main platform. If you fail here, you're done. That's just my opinion. So I could not let that go. I could not let that go. I thought about it. I did. I'm not going to lie to you folks. Last night, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to tell you folks publicly because like I've been thinking about this for a while because of my health and all that. And I didn't want to say anything because these people criticize you. You know, they're like, oh, no, you're full of it. You're just trying to show for donations. No. Or Eli's dying or something, right? That's all you guys do, right? That's all you guys do. But I thought about either taking a break for a day or a few days or a week or a month, or I even thought about shutting this down again because last night I was feeling the same way I was feeling when I shut down my former channel 2.5+ years ago after my ex broke up with me. I was feeling that same freaking pain. I'm being honest with you folks. I'm human. Just because I'm a coach doesn't mean I don't go through things. I'm not immune to stuff just because I'm a coach. I go through the same things you folks go, right? As a matter of fact, I'm one of the most raw and real coaches because I share with you all the personal stuff where the other coaches don't. They just, read emails and they do good, right? But I share everything I go through. I'm unconventional. I want to connect with you. I want to relate to you. And that's how I want to help you. My style of coaching is more like Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins, there's no other person like him. My style is just like his. Because he's real. He shares his real life stories. And he doesn't BS around. He'll call people out. He'll even call at the Tony Robbins event I went to many years ago in San Jose, here in the Bay Area for 4 days, Unleash the Power Within. He brought up this one guy and called him a BFP, a big effing PUSSY. Because he was fearing asking women out. Then he brought 3 hot women on the stage and basically helped him work on his game, right? So how come Tony can call a guy a BFP, right? And get away with it, but I can't. Well, he's more established than me. I can understand that, right? He's a bigger guy. He's ripped and all that. Maybe that helps, right? But he's been doing it for a while. He's established, right? Because he knows that's the only way to get through to people is to be direct with them and tell them exactly what they're being. How can you help people if you don't tell them exactly what the issue is? And no one really wants to hear what their issue is, but if they come to you for help, how else can you help them or how else can they change if you don't address the real issue, no matter how hard it is to hear, right? I know I have had them, panic attacks. Yes, that's good news, says BWI Gaming. Queen Helen Casey says, when is that person ever serious about moving on? I have a feeling it's another setup. It's not a setup, Queen. Queen, it's not a setup. I'll explain more after the break. Now, Queen, obviously, you always have to be on guard, right? You have to be on guard. You never know. Anything could be a setup. But if you sit there and always just overthink it, right? It's not going to allow you to move forward. I don't think it's a setup. If it is a setup, it's a pretty damn good one. I'll tell you that. But even if it is a setup, which I don't think it is, I can't allow myself to reach these high levels of stress anymore. I'm 47 years old. I'm nearing my 50s. I can't put my health and will not put my health at this risk anymore. So regardless of how it is, Queen, I'm moving on. But I sincerely believe that this is real. And I'll share more when I get back from the break. Let me just get through the chat, and I'll take a break here. Arnie says, let's hope the others do likewise. JR, who is the guy in Ohio, can go back to lying about his finances, and Martin can go back to barbecuing a steak. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about them during the second half as well, because we're closing the book on everything today, Arnie. We really are. And you've been right about everything, dude. I saw you have a mod wrench on Shangy's channel. And when I went over there yesterday, I wasn't trying to cause issues. I was just basically trying to validate everything you're saying, bro. And all I was there was to talk about Janet, because that's what they were talking about. And everything that was said about her is true, because she's on the payroll too. I didn't end up watching the entire Shangy show. I haven't even watched the rest of the replay. I may have to go do that, because I was talking with people on the phone during that time, and I was having, I guess what I now know is it was a panic attack. It wasn't convulsions. It was a panic attack. BWI Gaming says, exactly. Arnie says, I hope so, but we've all heard broken promises before, especially when Jay is struggling financially. I don't think he has a choice, Arnie. I think what you said, I saw what you wrote in Shangy's chat yesterday. The parts of the show I saw. And, you know, I've been doing a little more research, and I've talked to a few people, and I'm more so leading to believe that he's going to be fine. But yes, it is true. He is not making as much as he was making. I firmly believe that. Again, you know, Arnie, anything could be a setup, right? But I wholeheartedly believe that this time it really isn't. And if it happens to be down the road, again, I'm moving on regardless. I'm just sharing with you folks what I feel and what I know, because I'm the kind of person that I can't live with myself unless I, come clean. And that's why I wanted to share with you folks about my health, because I can't continue to go at these people in the way I've been going at them, even if they kept coming at me. I can't. My health is not going to be able to handle it. I'm going to be 50 years old in 2.5 years. I can't go into my 50s having high blood pressure or getting diabetes like my dad. I don't have diabetes, but who knows? My dad had diabetes. Like, it's hereditary. I'm at a high risk for that. And I'm not kidding. That's no joke. I'm at a high risk for diabetes. That's the last thing I need right now. I'm not going to let the stress of this put me there, which is why I'm doing this here today. I want you folks to know where I'm at. Oh, by the way, BWYA Gaming, I forgot to put your donation on the screen here. Thank you again for the $20 cash out. We're now at $25. I'm sorry about that. You see how not focused I am on the money? Like, yes, I need money to survive. But I'm not the kind of person that begs for money, and it's not the top thing on my mind. I actually enjoy truly doing this. I really do. I really do. Let me get to the chat so I can take a break and come back and talk about what you folks really want to hear. Tornado Town, they are just threatened by your donations. Let's hope they keep the truce, not holding my breath. I don't think there's a choice, Tornado Town. I think the reason why they're doing this primarily is because the curtain has been pulled. Okay? How do I say it? What's the figure of speech? the rug has been pulled from under their feet. I don't know. There's a saying for it. They pulled the plug on this. That's the way to put it. The plug has been pulled. And I'll share more about that after I get back from the break. Bud, Eli, how you been? Is that the real you, Bud? Let me check out your channel real quick. Oh, is that the same Bud that did that video on me? The parody coaching video on me? Yeah, there it is. The diss track, A Grip on Life. That's the same guy. It's still there. You got 673 views, bro. That's one of your highest viewed videos. I'll show why when I get back from the break. I'm going to show you folks some stats on the screen as well. All right, it's Bud. And it looks like BWYA Paranormal and Bud podcast 6 months ago. What happened, BWYA and Bud? Do you want to sincerely work on something now, bro? Because I'm open to it. Welcome back. Glad to see you here. You also did a podcast with Gemma's Journey Grace 6 months ago. And some other people. All right, good for you, bro. Let me know what your future plans are for YouTube, and maybe we can reconnect behind the scenes and work on some stuff, man. Thank you for being here. BWYA Games says, hey, Bud, my friend, hello there. BWYA Gaming, hello, Tornado Town. Hey, BWYA says, Bud. Hello at Gaming, says Tornado Town. Arnie says, YouTube like New York, New York. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. And we all know Jay had to move from there after years of a failure. I get it, dude. And quite frankly, dude, we're going to get past that after today. I get it. You're right, though. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, Arnie. Tornado Town, Eli, they have done this time after time. I agree with Queen. Tornado Town, that's because of his new alliances. BWYA, right, your health comes first. Yes, he did do that track, BWYA. Get in touch with BWYA. I'm already in touch with her. She'll connect us again. That's all good. Yeah, look, folks, look, I'm not naive here. I'm not saying that there isn't any chance at all that this could be reversed and flipped. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think it's truly, truly done. And if he flips it on me, then so be it. But I'm gonna. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sincerely give him the benefit of the doubt. That's the best I can do. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because I do believe he's being sincere this time because of other things that I know. And I'll say what I can say when I get back from the break. So let me do this. I'm caught up with the chat. Let me cue up some royalty-free YouTube music. And step away for a quick break. All right, thank you for sending me Bud's email, BWYA. I think I'm still connected with him on Hangouts. I think I just have him blocked. So I'll look into that later today. And I know you and I are going to talk privately after the show regarding our show that's going to be coming up, some things we're going to be working on. I know we need to retouch base on that. But yeah, let me just step away and take a break and refill my coffee. No need to add into the combo. Let me handle it first. We don't need to do a three-way conversation. We'll talk about Bud and what we can work on when we talk privately by phone, BWYA. So, yeah, no need to create another three-way chat. Like there's a lot. I already have a lot going on. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to manage everything. I do this by myself. I don't have an assistant at this point. At some point, when it's feasible, I will hire an assistant. But right now, I'm really trying to, consolidate things as best as possible. So let me cue up some royalty-free YouTube music. Give me a second here. Let's see. All right. Looks like my Hangouts is going crazy. Okay. All right. We're good. All right, folks. I'm going to step away for a 10-minute or less break. And when I get back, we're going to get to the second part of the show. We're going to talk about Mr. J is sincerely moving on. Kudos to you, James. And we're going to talk about where I think everyone else is at one last time. And then we're just going to move forward. So stick around. We'll be right back. right. Yeah. 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 All right. All right. All right. Enough of that. Scratch it. All right. Welcome back to Morning Coffee with Coach Eli live here on YouTube. I didn't mention earlier, this is not being simulcasted on Facebook. Well, it actually is. I always simulcast on Facebook, but sometimes I simulcast to private, meaning it's the only me setting on Facebook. So I always have an archive on Facebook in case somebody on Facebook would like to see one of the past streams and they're not on YouTube. I can actually give them individual access. I didn't feel this stream was necessary to be simulcasted on Facebook. I didn't want to scare the people in my real life. I'm not saying the people on YouTube are not a part of my real life. Some people I really do care about. Other people are just spectators, lurkers, and stuff like that. But I just didn't feel it was necessary to simulcast it over there today. Plus, the primary purpose of the stream is catered towards a small niche market out here on YouTube that we've all been stuck on for quite some time, and we're trying to get rid of the stickiness and move forward, right? So anyway, let's just get back to it, folks, because I really do want to get to some other things. It's not that I don't want to be here for you folks, and whether you call it entertainment, whether it's information or whatever it is. It's not that I don't want to be here for you folks all day. It's just I have some other things to do, business related and personal related. So during the second part of the show, we're going to be discussing Mr. J is sincerely moving on. Kudos to you, James. We're also going to mention some other things. Let me get to the YouTube chat because nothing's happening over on Facebook. Well, obviously nothing's happening on Facebook because it's on private. Why am I even looking over there? I'm just used to it. I'm a one-man show. Let's see. Arnie says, I hope Martin follows suit like Jay. I hope he can finally man up and do what he needs to do. Man up at the Seattle Space Needle and face his own cowardice. Well, he's bought and paid for too, bro. I'm sure you know that Brian's paying him. Brian's still involved, but Brian's decided to take a different route. And, I'm going to share with you my thoughts on what I feel that route is. I don't have 100% proof, but if you can put two and two together, you'll see what's going on, and then you folks will realize, why Jamie is being sincere. He is. And again, even if he flips or something like that, like I said earlier, I'm moving on. Like, my health cannot take any more of this. I cannot take any more of this. I want to focus on other things. I want to find myself a good woman, and I want to go out and have fun times, and even bring my big huge iPhone 12 Pro Max that actually covers my entire face and most of my hand, right, JB Gunner, and record some amazing videos from the hiking trails and journeys I take in my real life in beautiful, glorious 4K at 60 frames per second. I'm also soon, I'm hoping over the next 2 to 3 months, that's dependent on, levels of donations and the amount of money this channel makes. I'm not begging for this, folks. I'm just stating what I'm working on. I want to get a new laptop so I can process 4K videos much more quickly. I can process 4K videos on my current laptop, but it just takes a long time, even with my i7 processor. I want to get a new laptop with an i9 processor and 64 gigs of RAM. And I want to be able to process 4K video as fast as I can process 1080p video. That way I can crank more of it out for you folks and do some more pre-recorded videos with some targeted messages, bite-sized messages, and even better quality than I put out now. So that is that. Arnie furthermore says, and as for JR, the guy in Ohio, he can continue to live in his delusional world of self-worth, and maybe he'd be able to one day get enough coin to buy a J coloring book and work his way out of Deception 8. Oh yeah, Deception 8. You're right. I'm going to share with you folks exactly what I think is going on with him, because I talked to some people, a few people behind the scenes, and I shared my conspiracy theory, right? Which is going to make a lot of sense. I'm going to get to all of that. Then you folks are going to understand, because even you, JB Gunner, even you who watches me religiously, I get it. It's all good, bro. You find me accidentally funny. That's great, right? Even you hit the nail on the head when you mention that when it's tax season, it's good to have a woman around for certain other benefits, right? See, JB, when you mention things like that, it opens up my eyes to look at other things. So I'm very intuitive, Gunner. But stick around. I'll share my thoughts about that. And you folks are gonna be like, wow, Eli, you do have very strong intuition, right? So anyway, let me continue through the chat and then I'll get to it. Tornado Town says, well, I'm sure JR will get that coloring book, but Anna will have to buy his crayons. Tornado Town. Well, I'm sure. Oh no, that was Tornado Town. Yeah, that was Tornado Town. Sorry. Let's see. Arnie says, and let's hope MG has moved on from JR's separating and cooking egg whites to demonstrate some real soul food cooking techniques. That's what he should do. Honestly, if Martin Haters Inc. channel made a cooking channel, he could do much better than he's doing within this drama sphere, right? Like, these people actually have talents, right? They have talents, and instead of starting from scratch like I did and building something sustainable long term, they've been bidding for the money of Brian, Texas caregiver, and trying to take the easy way out, which the truth of the matter is, it's not sustainable long term. I was saying that to James for a long time, and now I'm sure he realized it in the past, but now he's practically living it. I'll share more about that in a little bit, right? It's not sustainable long term because Brian can pull that money at any moment. I've been saying that for a long time, and now it's happening. Or at least I think it's happening. I don't want to be naive. I mean, I don't know 100%. But, all the cards lead to that direction, right? Or all the roads, that's a better word. All the roads lead to that direction, right? Tornado Town says, Arnie, LOL. BWI Gaming says, LOL. Arnie says, I meant M. Goonie. Yeah, listen, M. Goonie is, because her name is blocked here. That's true, Arnie. Yeah, I have blocked Goonie's name, right? Because I really don't want to talk about these people. But for this show, it's fine, right? You can find the workaround through the Nightbot block words list and the YouTube spam filter and all that, right? But yeah, I'm hearing that she's really not valued in the community, and all she's ever done is attack people. I've said this before in the past. I'll say it again. I don't really have a problem with any of these people. I think the problem is they just don't love themselves, and Goonie's one of them. I think she, gets up every morning and looks at herself in the mirror and doesn't like what she sees. I'm just being honest with you, Goonie. And all she does is come on these panels and projects. That's all she does. That's the bottom line. Well, folks, let me switch over to the browser screen or I have a screenshot up. I'm going to show you folks why these people have been writing my name for a while. I'm going to show you stats of my back end of YouTube in the YouTube tags. Every time that you actually, set up a live stream or pre-recorded video, you have a section of where you can add relevant keywords in the forms of tags that help YouTube surface out your video to the right audience. So let me switch over and show you what I'm talking about, okay? Now, I'm sure you can see the mouse over there. Let me know if you folks can see the mouse moving. It should show. Can you see the mouse moving? Okay. So if you look at these keywords there, there's a blue box to the right of the word, and that's called a keyword relevancy search. Like, how relevant is that keyword based out of 100% relevancy? Now, this does not come standard with your YouTube channel. I actually use a plugin called vidIQ. There's also what's that other one? I can't remember it. There's the TubeBuddy. There's TubeBuddy and there's vidIQ. Okay, BWA Gaming says yes, we can see it, right? I used to use TubeBuddy, but I switched to vidIQ about a year and a half ago, and I have the full-blown version of it. Like, I can do anything with vidIQ. I love vidIQ. And I follow their channel with the person that runs their channel, Rob, who also works for vidIQ. Great guy. They do some great live streams. Check out vidIQ. I may even share an affiliate link down the road to vidIQ. I'm going to start sharing more affiliate links down the road, folks, in the description section. There's a lot of stuff I'm working on, and I work on merch and many, many other things, right? But anyway, so the vidIQ extension for Chrome shows you, when you type in tags, it shows you the search relevancy score. And the top score you can get is 100%. Nobody is 100% relevant, okay? Nobody is 100% relevant, okay? But, what is a good relevancy score? Okay, so anything above 50 is very good relevancy, right? But when you get into the 60s and the 70s of relevancy, it is exceptional, right? So let's go through these keywords here, right? Let's look at this. Dating, 46.7. Romance, 38.9. Life coaching, 56.4. Life coach, 58.7. Manifesting, 47.9. Manifestation, 48.5. Personal development, 58.2. And there's my name, my brand, Coach Eli, 74.5, number one. Pay close attention to this right here. Can I zoom in on that? Does it show? That's too far. It's too far. Let me zoom back, okay? Let me zoom back further. Sorry about that, okay? Keep that score in mind, 74.5 relevancy out of 100. Elias Dimitri Melas, it's not relevant yet. I know Elias Melas is, but I forgot to key it in, my keywords for this stream, right? Okay? But it's up there like in the 50s or the 60s. Not as high as Coach Eli, but close. Self-help, 36.4. The Secret, 44.4. Law of Attraction, 52.9. Branding, 58.5. Marketing, 53.5. Problem solving, 48.0. Health, 48.0. My Health, 42.0. Now let's get the Like and Theory. Like and Theory, search relevancy, 72.3. So think about it this way. Like and Theory is almost as relevant as me. I'm not saying he's not as relevant as me. I'm not saying I'm any better than him or he's any better than me. What I'm saying is, according to searchability on YouTube and on Google, because Google owns YouTube, when you can search for, YouTube videos and YouTube channels on Google, because Google owns YouTube. You can actually search on any search engine, but Google favors YouTube. Why? Because they own YouTube, right? 72.3. Like and Theory Entertainment, 71.4. Like and Theory Entertainment Inc., 49.8. It's growing, James. Punksthetic, 73.2. That's better than Like and Theory. It's been around, I think it's been around as long as Like and Theory. Look at this. Punksthetic, 73.2. And Coach Eli, 74.5. What is that? Okay. We're looking at 1.3, is it? Hold on. It's 73, 74.2, 3.5. A 1.3% difference in search relevancy. So think about it. Look at how relevant, at least amongst this group of people, Jamie and I are. Let's continue. Hashtag Like and Legion, 47.7. Like and Legion, without the hashtag, 72.2. Like and Legion has 2 words, 49.5. There's Coach JR, 45.0, which is not bad, but it's not 70. Now, think about this. Don't you think these people realize this? You're beginning to see why they're trying to eat off of not only my plate, but Jamie's plate. But let's go further. Let's talk about JB Gunner. 71.0 relevancy. Hashtag Gun Squad, 39.3. But look at without the hashtag for Gun Squad, 64.3. Now, you folks tell me in the chat, what does that tell you? I'm going to give you the answer. What does that tell you, right? Let's stay on this screen for a little bit while I talk. Why are all these people talking about us? And who's the most relevant out of all this drama group? Even though we run completely different channels. My channel is a different genre than Jamie's channels and JB's channels. All 3 of us, JB Gunner, Like and Theory, Jamie, and myself, we have 3 different genres, right? So technically, we're not even playing in the same league, but because this drama sphere thing has been going on for years, we're the top 3 most relevant and searchable on YouTube and Google. So why do you think everyone's trying to eat off of our plates, right? Well, let's take it one step further, okay? They think if they start using, our name or doing reaction videos and doing all this, that they're going to become as relevant as we are. That's not the way it works. Let me tell you how search relevancy works and why JD Gunner, Jamie, Like and Theory, and myself will always be more relevant than all of you. I'll tell you why. Because every one of us, despite my thoughts and feelings about Jamie or JD Gunner, right? I'm being cool right now because I'm just stating facts here, right? Despite my thoughts about them, all 3 of us create a lot of content. Our channels have a lot of content, right? But number 2, all 3 of us know about search engine optimization, creating descriptive tags that are searchable, right? And descriptive titles that are searchable, right? Additionally, Jamie's a graphics designer, and he creates very good custom thumbnails that appear on your feed that you click on to view our videos and live streams, right? I create great custom thumbnails, and so does JB Gunner. The rest of you, pardon my French, you create crappy thumbnails. You either copy my thumbnails, which is copyrighted, which I'm not going to flag you for that, but I've seen you guys copy my thumbnails, especially you, Martin, on the Haters Inc. channel, right? And they're sitting right there on your channel right now. I could flag them, Martin, but I'm not going to. I could. I'm not really concerned about that. I'm concerned about other things. I'll get to that in a bit. But, and another thing that JB Gunner, Jamie, Like and Theory, and I do, while we may use StreamYard to bring people on a panel, we don't broadcast typically directly from StreamYard. Sometimes Jamie does. right? We use third-party software. I use OBS, Open Broadcast Software. Jamie uses Streamlabs OBS, which is a variation of OBS. I don't like Streamlabs. It's too bloated. And you can do everything with the regular OBS that Streamlabs does. You just have to do it more manually. I just don't like the bloat of Streamlabs. But he uses a third-party professional piece of broadcasting software. JD Gunner uses XSplit. He pays for that. Now, OBS is free, and so is Streamlabs. XSplit you pay for, but we use third-party, broadcasting software that allows us to produce more professional shows at higher quality, audio and video. Right? Look what I can do. I can switch back to another screen. Nice fade there. I can fade back to the screen I was at. You see that? That's third-party software. So that's another reason. Now, what else? How much content has JD Gunner, Jamie, and myself created to allow these words here that you see right there on that screenshot of my tags? Okay, how much content we created to establish that relevancy, right? A lot. On this channel alone, I have probably close to 900 or 1,000 videos / live streams. Now, only about 500 or 600 are public. I have a bunch private because they're from the past, and the people still have those and re-upload them. I'll flag them for copyright, right? But I've got at least 500-600 videos / streams on public that are searchable, right? So does JD Gunner. So does Jamie Lycan Theory, right? Which makes us more relevant in the search engine. So even if guys like JR in Ohio wants to ride my coattails, it's not going to work because you don't have enough content out there. You haven't created your own relevancy, which is what you should be focused on. Instead, you're trying to ride my coattails, and YouTube knows that because you don't have enough content to even compete with the amounts of content I have that make myself searchable and more relevant in the search engines. Do you guys understand where this is going, right? Does this make sense? Do you folks see it here on the screen? What are your thoughts regarding this? Okay. So that's why, let's go back to full screen. That's why I'm not concerned about what JR in Ohio is doing. That's why I'm not concerned about what Haters Inc. is doing or anyone else. But why was I concerned about what Jamie and JD were doing? Because their relevancy is high like mine, right? And every time, folks, go and do this, right? Go do a search for Coach Eli. And what are you going to see? You'll see some sock count videos, but you'll see JD Gunner videos on me. You'll see Jamie videos on me. My Coach Eli is going to not only show you my content, it's going to show you content that Jamie and JB have done on me at a higher level. That is going to be more relevant, and it's going to be pushed up to the top of the search engine because they're relevant themselves, right? They have credibility and authority like I do with YouTube and Google, right? That's how it works. That's how it absolutely works. When you search Lycan Theory or Jamie, you'll find JD Gunner stuff and my stuff, right? When you search JD Gunner, same thing. YouTube thinks that we're on bed together, figuratively speaking, right? YouTube thinks we're in bed together because we talked about each other so much. We've created so many videos with these search terms. We own the search terms. I own Coach Eli and Elias Melas. And even if somebody, there are sock accounts out there that are created Coach Eli, right? And here's the thing. I have my former channel that's, Elias Melas, Coach Eli. My main channel here is called Coach Eli, Elias Melas. I have another account called Elias Melas for my networking days. That's like 13 years old. My name has high search relevancy. Another reason why I rebranded my channel. It's untouchable. because I own that. I have so much content on it for years throughout many channels. I own that, right? So anyone trying to eat off my plate is only making me more relevant and making yourself irrelevant or less relevant at the very least, right? Think about it, right? Think about it. What do you folks think? Let me know in the chat. Does that make sense to you? BWA Gaming says, sure they do. Yep. Let's see. Arnie says, what is Martin's relevance rating? Don't tell me. A supermarket meat tray on special on last. I'll tell you right now, bro. Let me do this. I can't show this on the screen, but I can put Haters Inc. Let me see here. Let me see here. If you give me just 1 second. Give me a second. Haters Inc. relevancy. I'll put it in the chat. 23.4. 23.4. Boy, Queen, I guess that troll made me more relevant by saying that. We're not going to read what they said. But Queen, tell me you think they said that because they're irrelevant and they're just jealous of my relevancy, JB Gunner's relevancy, and Jamie Lycantheory's relevancy, right? Clout chasers and coattail riders, right? You guys don't want to work hard. Listen, as much of an issue as I've had in the past with JB Gunner and Jamie Lycantheory, they're more relevant along with me than you folks will ever be. That's the truth of the matter. Whether I like it or not, those are the facts. I showed it to you on the screen. That was pathetic. Pathetic. Haters Inc. 23.4 relevancy. Why, dude? That's a common thing. Haters Inc. Dude, how many people have that? Right? Why don't you rebrand yourself to your first and last name? Come up with something a little more spicy, bro. If you want to be more relevant. That's the truth of the matter. Now, folks, we are at 1 hour and 29 minutes. Let me continue going through the chat. And then I'm going to step away and take one more break. And then I'm going to talk about why I think Mr. J is sincerely moving forward. What's going on with JR in Ohio? What's he really doing? And again, like I mentioned earlier, JB, what you said about getting with a woman at the beginning of the year because tax season's coming opened up my eyes to really figure out what JR is doing. And folks, some people out there said that JR has finalized his divorce, and he hasn't. I'll tell you why he hasn't. And I'll tell you why he's doing what he's doing. This is the last time I'm going to talk about you, JR. You can make it. You can respond to me on this if you want. Not a big deal. I know you're being paid. I know you're the new top dog of Big Daddy Brian, and that's why you're doing this. And yeah, by the way, JR, I was checking out your website from Redwood City this morning. So what's the problem with that? Like, you want some validation, bro? Seriously, do you want me to validate you? Are you desperately seeking relevancy, dude? Like a real man, even if he's being paid to act, because he's being paid by Texas Caregiver, right? Would not need to seek relevancy like you do, bro. I mean, you created a Wix website, dude. Wix, right? I have a real website, coach.eliasmelas.com. And my website is secure, HTTPS. It's a real website. I use WordPress. I could do anything on my website, right? And it doesn't say, like a grip on whatever, .wix, whatever, dude. That's pathetic, man. That's pathetic, man. And then, like, what is it, $19.99 for a 1-hour coaching session? $20, dude? Why? Because Big Daddy's paying you the big bucks, and you have to pretend to be this life coach because Big Daddy wants you coming at me? You will never have the search relevancy and the capabilities to come at me, JB Gunner, or Jamie. I'm telling you, bro, you don't have the skills to ever be as relevant as we are. Searchable on YouTube and as a human being, bro. That's the truth of the matter. You folks in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Poor Martin says Tornado Town, what, with the 23.4 rating? Queen Helen Casey, of course they are jealous. Arnie says, I always knew Martin was irrelevant, but that rating's non-existent. Okay. Well, I just found something out. Okay, I'm not going to say that. Okay. I'm not quite sure if that's accurate. I think that might be like a business venture or something, but okay. Let me see here. Let me get through the chat, take one more break here, and then we'll wrap this up with the good stuff you've all been waiting for. You're going to want to hear this because this is that's just unbelievable, right? No one takes that J fraud seriously, says Tornado Town. Tornado Town, they laugh at him behind his back. He actually thinks he can dethrone James. What a joke. Well, he thinks he can dethrone myself and JB Gunner. And the bottom line is he would have to create 500 videos before he has any chance, right? And he has to get a good amount of views on those videos as well, right? And he has to be interesting and engaging. And he has to be able to hit a different audience outside of that small Dramasphere audience, right? They are so envious of Eli. I don't think they're envious of me, bro. They're trying to ride my searchability, bro. I appreciate what you're saying. Listen, I got to be real with you, dude. I'm a humble person, and I respect what you're saying. But this is not about envy. This is about trying to ride the searchability. They're trying to be relevant on YouTube by writing someone else's name. But I get what you're saying, dude, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Arnie says, JR's, I'm not going to say that word, living with a girl and a small bank balance. JR should really rebrand himself as a grip on. Oh, that's funny, dude. I'm not going to say that. You guys can read that. BWI Gaming, you guys do know what you're doing on the tube for sure. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And we're going to help you too. This BWIA, we're going to go places. Now that we're through this, we're going to go places, okay? Tornado Town says, Arnie, that's funny. It is. It is. All right, folks. All right. Let me step away and take a quick break again. And then when I get back, I'll share with you folks why I feel James is being serious very briefly. And then we're going to talk a little bit about JR and what he's actually doing. And it's going to make sense. And what he's doing is not technically illegal. The only thing that he's doing illegally is living in a Section 8 apartment when, he's not allowed to be there. And he's not broke. He doesn't have $500,000 or $1 million. He's not broke, but he's not as wealthy as he's trying to make himself come off. And here's the thing: if he was very wealthy, he would not need to be getting paid what I believe he's now getting paid for by Brian, Texas Caregiver. I'm at the end of my lunch break. Just saw you were on. Hey, WrestleMania, how you doing, bro? It's been a while. Hope all is well with you and your family. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. This is unbelievable, folks. I'm just looking at the views right now. I have 637 views on this 1 hour and 37 minute stream. And those are legit. Because, yeah, wow. I didn't even realize that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, somebody's probably simulcasting right now and people are going back and forth. That's what's going on. Have a great stream. I must get back to work. Hi, bye everyone. This is WrestleMania. Queen says hello, WrestleMania. Tornado Town, have a good day, Mania. All right. Say hi to your family from me. Again, Jamie, WrestleMania. To your son, Elias, same name as me, and your wife. Hope you're all doing well. Okay, let's cue up some music here. Let's see. Do. Let me see here. Another Ethan Mixel song is coming up to start it off. In the Shadows, Letterbox Infrared. What else do we have? Silent Partner, Lay It Down. Let's go with MK2, Let Your Body Rock. All right, music is all queued up, folks. I'll be back in 10 minutes or less to wrap this up. We're going to talk a little bit about why I believe, Jamie is being genuine. And then we're going to share some interesting conspiracy theories, which I think are true, regarding JR in Ohio. And why no matter what he does, and no matter how much money he gets paid, by Brian as the new guinea pig now to come after me, it's not going to work. And I've shared many reasons why it's not going to work already, but a lot more when I return. So stick around. We'll be right back. yeah. We're back. We're back. Meditation. Good for the heart and soul, right? That's right. Yeah. All right, Eli. Yeah. Scratch it and get back down to business. Yeah. All right. Welcome back to Morning Coffee with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube. Glad you could all join me here today to start off a brand new week. I wanted to start off the brand new week by, running a positive stream. Sure, we're talking about some things and we're addressing some issues, and we're finally going to be working things out to a level where I think from this point on, things are going to finally head in the right direction. Not only for my channel and my business, but many other people's channels and businesses, including Jamie's and even JB Gunner's. JB Gunner really hasn't been that much of a part of this. He kind of has been. But this whole Brian, Texas caregiver thing, this is why these guys didn't want me going after their sponsor, because they knew this was going to happen. Now, I'm not quite sure the level Brian is sponsoring JB, if he's even sponsoring him at all anymore, or throwing him a bone every now and then. As far as, Jamie goes, I think he's probably still sponsored by him at a certain level, but not the same level he was at. As far as JR in Ohio, I think he's making the bulk of the money. I mean, this is all speculation. I'm just telling you folks, this is speculation. I don't have any hardcore proof, but based on what I've seen, the behavior, and based on what I've seen, JR in Ohio do to, pay channels like, like Johnny's channel. If you folks know who Johnny is, he is someone that's been paid a good amount of money. To be quite honest with you, I don't know why. I don't really know why. I mean, Johnny's tried to come at me, but I've been ignoring him, and I just don't think Johnny really understands the YouTube game, which is fine. Johnny, if I was you, I would just make your own content and be you, bro, and don't get caught up into this this BS because of the fact that you're seeing incredible amounts of money. Do you understand this is not sustainable long term? And once they see no usage for you, bro, they're going to stop paying you, right? I mean, I really wish these people would not be starstruck by money, especially if it's done in a way where, they're being used for something temporarily while they're being led to feel like they're going to be sponsored indefinitely. Now, who knows how long JR sponsors Johnny. It all depends on how much money that Brian, Texas caregiver, wants to feed JR to continue this facade. That's really not going to go anywhere because, again, these people have no search relevancy. The search relevancy belongs to JB Gunner, Jamie Theory, and myself. These people, in order for them to have any shot of competing with our search relevancy on YouTube and Google, they would have to create 500 plus videos and streams that get them 300 to 500 views apiece. That's not going to happen based on the content they provide and based on the audience they have, right? That's okay. They keep trying, though, and we'll keep laughing. But as for me, I'm going to keep laughing behind the scenes because I'm not going to give him any clout or anything. I'm not going to talk about them and give them some relevancy just by mentioning them, right? We got to just cut them off at the knees and let them fend for themselves, right? That's the way it needs to be, right? My Resbal channel. Hi, everyone here. Good music. How you doing? How'd you find out about this channel? Welcome to the show. BWI Gaming says hello at my Resbal channel. Kate says there is plenty of meditation music on YouTube. Yes, there's plenty in the YouTube audio library. They keep adding new songs every day that you can use without worrying about getting content ID claims or copyright strikes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Queen, yes, there is, says BWI Gaming. EMK's in the house. Hi, everyone. Hi, Eli. Hi, EMK. All right, let's get right to this here. I want to talk about one more thing that I wanted to mention that I didn't say I was going to mention before I went on break, but I'm going to. I'm going to start off with this, then get to Jamie, then get to JR in Ohio. Arnie says, Johnny's got one other fan besides JR, and that's let's just call him Homie B. Honcho. I see what you wrote there to bypass the spam filter, Arnie. That's quite hilarious. His relevance rating's still higher than Martin's. I can tell you what Homie's relevancy is. You want me to tell you that? Let me look it up real quick. Let me look it up. I got to go into, let me see here. Let me go in here and let's see. Homie. Let's see. Oh my gosh. And he has 11,000 subscribers. You want to know what Homie B. Honcho's relevancy is on YouTube? I gotta tell you, it's worse than Martin's. 20.9. Wow. 20.9. If I have to show screenshots in the future, I will. 20.9. Haters Inc. is more relevant than a channel with over 11,000 subscribers. Go figure why even Homie's been trying to ride my coattails too. And Jamie's. And I think even JB Gunner's. 20.9. Haters Inc. Josh Martin is more relevant through YouTube and Google search than Homie B. Honcho. Look, folks, the numbers speak for themselves. That's all I'm saying. The numbers speak for themselves, right? There you go. There you go. Does it answer your question, Artie? Queen's like, well, damn, she's crying out of laughter. Huh, Queen? Queen, you and I will always be friends, right? No matter what, right, Queen? I'm going to mention something regarding my moderators here after I mention this first. Let's talk about Muttnut's Crazy World and Empress Janet. Two women that are now permanently blocked on this channel and will never be welcomed back. I'm not going to go into great detail, but over the last few days, certain things happened that showed me Janet's true colors. She's being paid by Brian to do all this, and I think she's more involved in that with Brian in real life. Now, again, I don't have a lot of proof on that. I don't have any proof on that. The thing is, it just makes sense. It's one of those things that just makes sense, right? And while people are saying, Janet is crazy, yeah, she's a little crazy, but she's not as crazy as she appears on the screen. She takes her regular level of craziness and amps it up as an act because she's being paid to do that by Brian. Just think about it. They're all store-bought, right? But even Empress Janet, I mean, let's do this. Let me look at her search relevancy. Why don't we do that? We're having some fun with relevancy, so let's continue. How about we do that? Let's share with everyone how relevant these people are compared to myself, JD Gunner, and Jamie Lycan Theory, right? Let's do that. Let's first go and see what the relevancy is for Empress Janet. I gotta tell you, I'm surprised. It's actually pretty high. 64.9. She stirred up the pot enough. And people are talking about her, making her relevant. Almost as relevant as JD Gunner, Jamie, and myself. That is interesting. Now, her other channel that's been around longer, okay, is Fellowships Online Funhouse. 57.6 relevancy. That's why Brian is focusing on her. Folks, the focus, well, it appears to be on JR in Ohio. No, I just figured it out. And there are some people right now behind the scenes that are saying, holy shit. Folks, we've been looking at this all wrong. The highest paid person on Brian's payroll is Empress Janet, Fellowships Online Funhouse. Now, that's a theory, but it makes sense. The second highest person on the payroll now is JR in Ohio. And the third highest paid is probably still Jamie, which used to be number one. But Jamie's been tired of all this. And he's wanted to get out because his audience was tired of him creating content on me when I wasn't feeding into anything. And I wasn't giving them anything new to talk about, right? Wow. It's all about search relevancy. BWI Gaming says, wow, huh? I always knew money was involved, says Queen Helen Casey. BWIA Gaming, you tell me, am I a great investigator? And does this make sense to you? And the people behind the scenes, I'm very intuitive. I know how to figure things out. Now, I don't have receipts, but just put two and two together and think about it. Who's the highest paid on Brian's payroll? It's Empress Janet. Who's getting paid to pretend to act extremely crazy to continue getting people to talk about her and other people? Just like on Shangy's show, where Cuban Swagger went on there, Mr. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Mr. Something. Cuban Swagger. Swagger, if you're watching this, bro, stop feeding into her. Stop talking about these people. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm saying the more you talk about them and the more you get triggered by them, the more relevant you're making Empress Janet. Makes lots of sense. And she spells sense, C-E-N-T-S, instead of the other way. LOL. Wow, Janet. What a distraction and diversion you've been. That's why I let you come back a second time. Because number one, I knew you would pay me. Actually, Brian paid me. Brian, you've paid me about $600 or $700 in the last month and a half or so. Thank you. I appreciate that. I had to see for myself. I had to figure this out myself. I just more so figured it out here on the fly, just doing the search relevancy thing because I so happen to have a premium version of the vidIQ plugin for my YouTube channel. Unbelievable. The head of the snake is Janet. She's playing everybody, including me. And she tried to get me to believe initially that her sponsor was Cuban Swagger. I have screenshots on that. I have it, but I'm not going to show it because it's not even relevant. If I have to prove it, I can show where she said that. But I don't need to. Now, my question is this. Swagger, Cuban Swagger. I'm not going to talk about you. I'm willing to come on your panel one time if you want me to. But after today, I'm not talking about this. But I'm saying, Swagger, Are you on the payroll? And are you getting paid to go to Shangy's show to basically, pretend like you're mad at Janet to keep the facade going and to try to throw Shangy off? Folks, this manipulation with Brian runs deep. And even though he's not technically saying he's sponsoring people publicly, he's still paying for this. You see, Brian, I heard you have experience in like drama and theater and stuff like that, and that's how you know how to do this. The thing you don't understand, Brian, is search relevancy on YouTube. Maybe you kind of do. Maybe that's why Janet's the head snake, at least at this point, because she's almost as relevant. She's the closest one to being as relevant, searchable on YouTube when compared to JD Gunner, myself, and Jamie. And then it's J-Rom with his Coach J-Rom channel. Wow. Okay. So yeah, yesterday something happened. I'm not going to go into great detail because I'm not going to rehash this whole thing. Muttnut's Crazy World did something that betrayed a lot of trust and that created some issues that were unnecessary. Somebody agrees with me. Behind the scenes. 3 exclamation points, huh? You see, ma'am, I really do care. I do. I'm sick of this. I'm even sick of what you've been through. And I'm not going to lose my shit right now on this show. I'm just tired of this. I'm not saying I'm all that. I figured this whole thing out with my intuition. That's why people don't like me in this group, because I figured this whole thing out and I shut it down. No one would have ever known to look where I looked because you don't have the access I have. Some of you don't even know about vidIQ. You don't even understand search relevancy, but I do. Because not only am I good being on the front lines, I'm good with the clerical stuff. Most people are good at one or the other, but I'm good at both. And I'm a one-man show bringing down over 200 people. One man! One man! To the people behind the scenes. Yeah. Anyway. Janet's been playing everyone. Everyone! Janet's been paid to attack someone very close to Mr. J. So they have a public fight, and then in addition, it creates a public fight with me. I was on a panel with them on Janet's show the other night. It was staged, and Janet amped it up because she's being paid by Big Daddy Warbucks, known as Brian. Pathetic! But thanks for the money, Brian. I'm not even going to thank you, Janet, because I'll thank Brian. Thank you for your contribution. Yep, it was all a setup. And guess who knew it right away? And now people know why I went on that panel not once but twice. it was a setup. And I knew it all along. And I went on there trying to protect people. That's why I went on there. It's the truth. I'm triggering myself right now. I'm not triggered at these people. I'm triggered at myself. Yeah, that's new. No one's ever heard that, right? I'm triggering myself right now. It would be no surprise if he's on the payroll. They're all on the payroll, Queen. Queen says, Eli, don't get your blood pressure up, please. I'll be fine, Queen. I just hit over 1,000 views on this stream. Everybody's watching. This is ridiculous. This is why these people were simulcasting me, because they didn't want me to go viral. Right? And I'm not trying to show off, but they didn't want me to go viral. That's the thing, right? This is what I fought for. I'm not a quitter. Brian is a sick little man. Of course he is, EMK. Arnie says, one man, not three. BWYA Gaming, calm down, Eli. I'm fine, BWYA. This is ridiculous. Mutt, I thought you were a good person, but you're not. You're a snake. Good luck with you, or good luck to you on your channel. You're going to need it. I was legitimately helping you. But you were bought off. We're bought off by Janet, a.k.a. Brian. I say a.k.a. because she's associated with him. Let me tell you something, Mutt. That money, they're gonna cut you off when they see you as useless, irrelevant, right? And what's gonna happen at that point? You're gonna feel sorry. You're gonna try to come back and beg me for forgiveness. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I forgave you once. Fool me once, Mutt. Shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on me. You're never coming back. Don't even try. Because you know this is all going to be short-lived. You got played. I tried to protect you. And you basically effed me up the you-know-what. Right? You effed me up the you-know-what, Mutt! Now, you're on your own. Good luck to you. Again, when they see you as useless and stop paying you that money, I would have helped you create something real. Free of charge, Mutt. I helped you for free. This is how you repay me? You effed me up the you-know-what? I thought you were a lot smarter than that, Mutt. And I'm not triggered. I'm just calling you out. You and your friend Super Steph, you can sit there and doodle around on your live streams doing crafty stuff with 3 in the box, right? You ever going to see numbers like this, 50 in the box right now, over 1,000 views on this stream in 2 hours and 13 minutes? Are you ever going to see numbers like that? No, you're not. But you could have. And I was going to help you free of charge, but you effed me up the you-know-what. Twice! Now you're on your own. You see, Mutt, if I really wanted to talk about you for a while and make you look like a fool where you would never have an audience again, I could do that. I'm choosing not to. Number one, I'm a better person than that. Number two, you're irrelevant, and I'm not going to make you relevant at my expense like I made a lot of other people relevant at my expense. I learned my lesson. Maybe now you will too. You did the most despicable thing that anyone could ever do. You know what you did. You sold your soul to the devil for a few hundred measly bucks, mutt. That's fucking pathetic. More pathetic than anything. EMK says much should go on OnlyFans. Enough guys over there love. God. Muttnuts really martined herself. Yep, that's true. She thought that Janet actually really cares about her. You think Janet really cares about you? Do you think even Super Steph really cares about you, Mutt? Super Steph controls you. You're being controlled by an 18-year-old. It's pathetic. You blew it. And that's the last time you'll ever hear me say your name out of my mouth. You just buried yourself, Mutt. I don't have to bury you because you buried yourself. Hazy Train, can't believe she effed you in the you-know-what. That's breaking news. How you doing, Hazy Train? Welcome to the show, bro. Great to see you here. Wow. As far as my moderators go, I want to make a very clear message. I love all my moderators. But my moderators have been a part of this too. We've all been a part of this. We're all guilty in some way, shape, or form of talking smack about other people and saying things that hurt other people. But that stops here right now. That stops here right now. I'm done with the smack talk. It's over. Now, I'm not threatening my mods. I love all of you. But I'm going to make a very strong statement here. That from this point on, I expect my moderators to be professional, respectful, and mature with your comments on the live streams and also behind the scenes. Now, I'm not taking away your freedom of speech, and I'm not telling you what you can and can't say. You have the right to say whatever you want to say. You also have the right to come and go as you wish, right? But if you want to continue being a part of this and grow along with me, because we're going to go places, I expect respectful, professional, and mature behavior. And if you have to say something about someone, say it respectfully, professionally, and maturely. And don't say things that you know are going to absolutely hurt people just because you have an issue with other people associated with these people or whatever the issue is, right? No, Queen, I don't have, Queen, you're the last person I worry about. Queen, I'm saying this in general. But as far as you, Queen, you've been the most loyal and faithful one with no expectation. BWI Gaming, I'm not trying to devalue you or anyone else. But when I talk about Queen Helen Casey, she's the queen she's the queen for a reason. I have a lot of respect for Queen because she stands her guns and she's a fair person. And even though we're on the opposite side of the political spectrum, she's only slight right and I'm only slight left. We get along because we can agree on some things, but the things we disagree on, we respectfully disagree. Sure, we can have a little spat about it for fun, right? But that's what I've always respected about that woman. We're moving on professionally, respectfully, and maturely. She's an awesome mod and a good person, yes. And so are you, BWYA. I'm just saying as a blanket statement to all my mods, I'm moving forward at a very professional level. And from this point on, if any of my mods are not respectful of what I just mentioned, unfortunately, I'll have to talk with you behind the scenes and remove you. I'm not at that point. I'm just making a statement that, hey, I'm moving forward with or without people. If I have to do this on my own, I've been doing it practically on my own anyway. But if I have to do this on my own and moderate my own stuff, that's fine. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not threatening anybody. I'm just making a statement. As far as Jamie goes, a couple days ago, I was on a panel with him on Empress Janet's channel. He came on and said he's done. He sounded sincere. I didn't believe him. But I'm like, okay, man, let's see what happens, right? He goes, I'll see what I can do. He's actually kept his word since that time. Because some of the things that he mentioned he would get people to stop doing have actually stopped. I appreciate that, James. I really do. I didn't believe it, though. I was hoping for the best, but I didn't believe it. I came back on there later on the show because someone else was on that panel, Mrs. J, and I felt that she was getting played. And I now know Janet was playing her and was playing me, and it was all concocted by Brian. Queen, can you ban that Rex? I'm going to give you the honors, Queen. That's a troll from the other side that still doesn't get it. You see, Queen, I give you the honors. Thank you, Queen. You see how respectful I am? I could have done it myself, Queen, but I know you enjoy it. Queen, tell me how much you enjoy using that hammer. Let's see how relevant Queen Helen Casey is. And we're going to help her become more relevant. Queen, I'm going to look at your name now and see how relevant it is on YouTube. Because you didn't post for a while, so it might have affected your relevancy, but let's see. I know a lot of people talk about you, Queen, so let's check this out. Maybe Brian, if your relevancy's high, maybe Brian will try to buy you too, Queen. Let me see here. Let's see. You know what, Queen? It's not even giving me a number. You know why? Because you went dark for a while. You went, and you just started putting out videos a few weeks ago. So for right now, there's no data there. It doesn't show even a number. But it will come back up. I was just curious to see. I'm not going to look you up. Don't worry about it. Arnie says, there have been a great many YouTube channels that have been devalued as a result of bullying, but in terms of his coloring book now, let's be honest, it's been overvalued. He knows it. He was paid to do it by Brian, dude. He didn't really want to do it. He was forced to do it. That's why I kind of do feel a little bit bad for James. He has been through some stuff. I think he realizes that now. So, because of that, because of me figuring out that Janet's been getting paid by Brian to go after, Jamie's woman, I went on that panel to do what I didn't do. And this woman, she's not my girlfriend. But I went on that panel to do what was right, which is what I didn't do for my ex, Dana. I went on there to be protective and to white knight. And I'll admit that publicly. I don't give a damn what any of you think. And what happened when I called it out? I went on there saying that, Janet's playing you all. And then all of a sudden, this Cuban swagger guy tries to come on. And Janet kept playing with him, bringing him on the panel and putting him backstage, on the panel, putting him backstage, right? And I'm like, let the man speak. Let me hear what he has to say. And she didn't let him speak. So in essence, she was silencing him because it's part of the act. So what happens, Swagger goes on Shangy's show, continues the act. I think Swagger's part of the act. Swagger, I think you're being paid by Brian, and you're not Janet's sponsor. She tried to lead me to believe that. All of this has been a distraction. I figured it out. I'm the man. I brought all these people down by myself! Because of all that, I believe that Jamie's being sincere. Now, is there a chance he might flip out or might do something if he doesn't find a way to replace some of the income he's lost? Sure. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, which I haven't done that before, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt this time because I think he's being sincere because of what's been happening. He's tired. He's worn out. He's tired of having to balance keeping his audience happy and keeping his sponsor happy. And then keeping his woman happy. Right? It all caught up to you, right, James? And I'm on your side, dude, believe it or not. But it all caught up to you, right? It was not sustainable long term. And how long have I been saying that for, right? I don't have to go back and play videos a year and a half ago saying it's not sustainable long term. And then you had to play it off for Brian. It's not sustainable long term. Okay, Eli, it's not sustainable long term. Okay. Right? That's all it's been, right? All store bought, right? No morals, values, and ethics. Right. No morals, values, and ethics. Absolutely not. None. Queen says, no amount of money could ever buy me because it's blood money that I don't want. I agree with you, Queen. Queen, I'm going to give you a big round of applause for that, Queen. Queen, I got to tell you, not only are you getting a round of applause for that, Queen, that was the biggest mofo truth bomb ever! Truth bomb, Queen! That wasn't loud enough. I had it too low. Truth bomb! There we go. One more time at full volume. That's why I respect you, Queen. Because you're real, Queen. You're real. And real, recognize real, right? 100, right? Real, recognize real, right? Okay? BWI Gaming says, that's why I can't say anything about anybody. LOL. Right. BWYA Gaming at Queen. For me, it's an issue of morals and having a good conscience. You damn right. Same here. Same here. Queen says, gaming, that's why I don't mess with Cash App or PayPal ever. Queen, you deserve to make some extra money. And the moment that you open that up, Queen, you're going to get a good donation from me. Trust me on that. I've been wanting to send you some, Queen, but you have no way to send. Okay. Psychotic Savage, welcome to the show. No, I did not download Pride before the fall. I've been busy talking with people and getting rest. I wasn't feeling good yesterday. You have to go back, check out the replay of this show once it's over, dude. I shared a little bit about my health, or a lot about my health. So you may want to go back and check out the replay, bro. This will probably be the only stream I do today. I'm going to let this one ride, take the rest of the day off. Let people talk about it. Go for it. What you got, right? So I'm good with it, Jamie. And I told other people behind the scenes that I'm willing to help you behind the scenes. I'm willing to help you make money. I'm willing to help promote you in different ways at no cost. I'm going to throw that out there. You don't have to take it, but just know, I really believe at this point you want to do the right thing and get out, and you've been struggling with it for a while because you were controlled. You were controlled by Brian. Here's the thing, Janie. Maybe one day when you completely disassociate yourself from Brian, when you're not getting paid from him anymore, which I'm assuming that you're not getting paid as much, if you are even getting paid by him at all. I'm assuming he's cut your sponsorship at least in half. That's just an estimate. I'm guessing. I could be wrong, right? But when you completely disassociate yourself with Brian, which is what I'm trying to say, I hope you come out and share your story, bro. I'll tell you what, I'll help you get 5,000 people in the box on that one. I'll help you blow that one up. And I'll send you a super chat myself. Actually, I'll send you a Cash App so you don't have to deal with the 30%. I'd love to see that, James. Because I would respect you a lot more. You've earned a little bit of my respect back. I had zero respect for you before this. But this is allowing me to have at least a little bit of respect for you. You want my full respect back? When you disassociate yourself from Brian at some point, share your story. And when you have my full respect, you'll get a lot more from me. Monetarily. Not just for me, but by many other people that may start to regain some respect back for you as well. That's why I don't want it, says Queen, because of the crooks over there. Mike Perkins says, good afternoon, Coach. Hope you are doing well, brother. We'll have to catch the replay. 810, thank you for being here. Sounds good. I shared a lot. BWYA Gaming. Hello at Mike Perkins. Hi there, BWYA, says Perkins. Hello, Mike, says Queen. Mike says, hi there, Queen. I have to take another break, folks, because I need to get some more liquid. I'm running low on liquid, and I've been talking a lot about other things, and I'm going to get to the final part, which is the JR aspect and what's his interest here, and what is he really doing, and why is he really with Anna, right? What's really going on here? You're going to want to hear this, Rom, because, I'm sure you're going to want to talk about it, and you're getting paid to talk about it, which is fine. Fine, talk about it all you want. This is the last time you folks are getting any parts of your name out of my mouth. But I had to close it off, or close it up with this. So I'll tell you what. Let me cue up a little more music, Give me a second. Give me a second here. Okay, I was just checking email real quick, making sure nothing urgent came through that was needed for the show. Okay. And Janet, if you're going to continue to make purchases for my channel, trust me, I'm going to next talk to these companies and I'm going to have them block you out. There's no need to do it anymore, Janet. I know it's you now. I know it's you that's doing it. You're being paid for. You're being paid to do that by Big Daddy, and I could care less. Quite honestly, it's not hurting me at all. It's actually helping me. And you want to help me blow up on YouTube, then that's on you. Do what you got to do. I could care less. I could care less. It's not a big deal. Oh my gosh. Coach Corey Wayne just put out a new video. His thumbnail says, this is the topic of a story that he got from a guy. I have to watch this later. The thumbnail says, letting her sleep around equals being respected. That must be some beta guy allowing his girlfriend to sleep around with other guys so she can stay with him. We all know the type of guy that guy is. That's a CU. Never mind. That guy's a CUC, you know what. Oh, man. What's going on with men nowadays, man? What the hell is wrong with men nowadays? God. We've seriously feminized men. That's what's going on. I'm saddened by it. I'm saddened by it. All right, let me cue up some music here. Let me cue it up. Cue it up, baby. Cue it up. What else do I want to play? Let's see. Do. All right, folks, music is all queued up. We're taking one more final break. Save the best for last. Right? I'm giving you too much credit. Too much credit, JR. But we're going to save the best for last. So stick around. We'll be right song is called Hollywood High by Silent Partner. It makes sense because YouTube's the new Hollywood, right? Yeah. Slow it down. I'm going to enjoy the moment for a second, all right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the last time I'm doing this. I'm not going to waste any more of my precious energy at 47 years old to do this. This is it. All right. Welcome back to Morning Coffee with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube. Glad you all joined me here today. I believe this is the fourth segment. I didn't expect this to go on this long. I mean, where are we at right now? We are at 2 hours. 2 hours and 47 minutes? We're going to be on another 20 or 30 more minutes, and that's it, folks. This is all I'm going to do for today. I'm willing to talk to people privately behind the scenes throughout the rest of the day, and then I'm going to relax and take care of some things regarding my personal life. It's been a heck of a show. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty sure most of you can agree. A lot's been discussed, it's been discovered, but there's still one more aspect left. And we're going to get to JR here in a second. Good old Joshy Poo. Little Joshy Poo, right? That's what we're going to call you from here on out. Little Joshy Poo. Is that what Anna calls you, Joshy Poo? Does that trigger you, bro? Oh, you're going to be real triggered, Joshy. You're going to love that, right? Because see, here's the thing, Joshy. Doesn't matter what you do. You're irrelevant. You don't have even any search relevancy to make a big enough stink in the first place. But even if you did, you're still irrelevant. So you have dual irrelevancy, Joshy Poo. You have dual irrelevancy, Joshy Poo. And your sponsor, Texas caregiver Brian, is paying you. It doesn't realize how irrelevant you are, not only by yourself, but through YouTube and Google search relevancy. You're extremely irrelevant. Anyway. Let's just cut it. Cut it. Scratch it. All right. Great show, says BWYA Gaming. Yeah, I appreciate that, BWYA Gaming. So let's get to the final part here. Let's get down to business. I don't got no time to mess around. What is this? Must be a circus in town. Let's shut this shit down. All these clowns! Can I get a witness? Hell yeah! All these clowns! You're all freaking nothing but clowns! All of you! Clowns! Anyway. JB Gunner, I'll tip my hat to you on this one. Despite things you've done, I'll tip my hat to you. You opened up my eyes to what JR in Ohio is doing. Joshy Poo, right? You tipped me in the right direction without even realizing about what Joshy Poo is doing. Maybe you don't realize this. Maybe you do and you don't care to talk about it. But see, Gunner, you said that, during the beginning of the year, guys will get with a woman for tax purposes, right? Well, in Joshy Poo's case, it's more than that. Listen up, Joshy Poo. You see, here's my problem in the modern world is this, Joshy Poo. I'm happy that women have been liberated and have equal rights and can work and do the things that only once men could do, right? So I really have no problem with feminism, except radical feminism, which is what women do when they seek out special privileges that men have never had. And these women play the system, Joshy Poo. But I never expected a man like you to play the system worse than a radical feminist. You're playing the system, Joshy Poo. You're rolling the dice and playing the system. First and foremost, living in that Section 8 apartment with Anna, you're putting her and her kids at risk for losing that. And you're putting yourself in great danger as well, because this is what you're doing. I figured this out on my own. I've told a few people behind the scenes, and they're probably listening right now. And they're probably saying, yes, yes, yes. So what are you doing? Listen up, Anna. I really hope that your feelings for Joshy are real, and I hope that Joshy's feelings for you are real. But you see, Anna, here's the thing. I've seen Joshy say he's trying to get back into shape. He's probably a little bit out of shape right now, right? And we're all seeing you get back into better shape. And here's the thing, Anna. Despite what you think about me, even when you were close to 300 pounds, Anna, everybody, including myself, said, you know what? Anna takes good care of herself. She's a clean woman, and, she takes care of herself. We bet if Anna got into good shape, she would be extremely sexy and hot. And you would. I'm paying you a compliment, right? Let me tell you, the moment you get back into shape, Anna, is the moment that more guys are going to look at you, and your man per se, Joshy Poo, is going to feel very threatened. He's already very insecure and immature, right? Right now, he's got you because, and I'm not trying to be rude by saying this, Anna, the truth of the matter is, women that are out of shape have fewer options than women that are in shape. Those are just the facts, right? Not trying to be rude, right? So you're getting back into shape, and Joshy Poo's saying, well, I better get to the gym, get into shape, because if my woman gets into shape, another guy start paying attention to her, oh boy, and I'm going to have competition, right? And then she's not going to put up with my insecurities anymore, right? And other things I'm lacking as a man, right? I don't think that relationship's going to last. I think, number one, Joshy Poo knows that if Anna gets back into shape, she's going to have more options. She's going to find a better man. So what is Joshy Poo using Anna for right now? Listen up, Anna. Because if this is what you're actually doing, Anna, number one, you are breaking the law, and so is he. But you're not breaking the law on purpose. You're breaking the law because this is the man, at least at this point, you think you want to be with, because your options are limited. I'm not trying to trigger you. I'm on your side. I care about your well-being once again, Anna. Okay? JB Gunner, you know what money laundering is, right? I'm sure you do. I'm not saying that you're laundering money, JB. I'm not going to talk about you and money laundering on this show. It's not the point. Okay? But I have reason to believe that that Joshy Poo is laundering money he's getting through Anna. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. I don't have any proof of this, but this makes perfect sense. Okay? Think about it this way. Some people were saying that, Joshy Poo's, marriage has been dissolved and he's divorced. No, he's not divorced. He hasn't signed the papers yet. There's a reason for that. Because if he signed the papers in the past, and maybe he'll sign them soon, he'd probably have to file a third bankruptcy. Because if not, then his current wife would take all his money like the other two did, right? He didn't learn his lesson the first two times. He's done it the third time. Joshy Poo, I think you need to go MGTOW, man. I think you need to go MGTOW like Riff Muggles. Because, man, you still haven't figured it out after two attempts, right? So what's he trying to do to protect himself this time, right? The money he's getting from Brian or anywhere else is being laundered. At least the money that he's getting from anywhere else, besides any trucking job he has or anything like that, is going directly into Anna's account or name. Why? Because it's income he doesn't have to show. He should show it, but it's income that won't show, an income that his current wife cannot go after in a current divorce settlement. Are you laundering money, Joshy? If you think that Joshy is laundering money through Anna, put a 1 in the chat. If you think he's laundering money through Anna and using her for tax purposes and also using her for the Section 8 apartment, and I'll tell you this, furthermore, a Section 8 apartment in Ohio, in that area, probably costs them $400 or $500 a month. Let's say $500 a month at the most, right? So what's Joshy doing to be able to stay there? He's paying the rent, which is $500. It's cheap as hell, right? He's also probably buying all the food, right? Why? Because the money he's saving from paying rent in a more expensive place, right, is going into his pocket, but going into Anna's pocket until he divorces his wife, right? And she'll take half of his shit, which he's not going to hardly show anything. He's pulling, what Joshy Poo is doing is he's pulling a JB Gunner on his wife. You learned that from JB. Well, JB, I guess you taught the man well, right? Right? 2 1s in the chat so far. No one else is responding. Are you uncertain? Is everyone else uncertain? You laundering money, Joshy? Then let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, bro. That's tax evasion. You're breaking the law, and so is Anna with the Section 8 apartment with you living there. You're manipulating Anna to let you stay there by paying that cheap rent and food for her and her kids. And right now, that's helping her out. You know what that's called, Joshy and Anna? That's called a codependent relationship. One big time, right? That's called a codependent relationship. And you folks tell me, do codependent relationships ever work? Do codependent relationships ever work? The truth hurts, huh, Joshy? Now, again, like I said earlier, he's trying to get into good shape because his woman is losing a lot of weight. And Anna, even as a bigger woman, was a beautiful woman. The more and more she gets into shape, the more that beauty's going to come out. And you're going to feel threatened, Joshy, right? That's why you're not marrying Anna yet, because first of all, you'd have to divorce your ex-wife. Or your ex-wife to be, I mean, right? And you can't do that now because you're trying to hide your money so she can't take it, right? To avoid filing for a third bankruptcy. I got you pegged, dude. I've got you pegged. Pegged. Gunner, thank you for leading me in the right direction. I'm surprised, Gunner, that you didn't figure this out. Or if you did, you didn't talk about it. If you figured it out, Gunner, you would have talked about it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Wow, we shot up to 70 in the box legitimately. Now down to 55. These numbers are wildly fluctuating. Obviously, I think Joshy is simulcasting me, and people are going back and forth because he's probably super triggered. Are you triggered, Joshy? These numbers, I'm watching them. They're going from 70 to 55. These are do you folks see what's happening and with the numbers? They're fluctuating. People are going back and forth because Joshy is triggered. Triggered, right? If you think Joshy Poo is triggered more than ever, and I'm the one who triggered it, put a 1 in the chat. Is he triggered or not? You tell me. Put a 1 if he's triggered. You're triggered, bro. Triggered. Let me tell you something. Some of you may come out here and say, I buried all these people today. No, they buried themselves. You all buried yourselves. Stork, you were timed out for using the block word. Sorry about it. For 5 seconds on Nightbot. Triggered. No one's putting 1s in there. Why? Because you're just listening or you just don't want to put it in there, right? Greg Schultz, who are you? With a 1. These numbers have gone from 70 to 44 because Joshy Poo is simulcasting me, right? I don't care, dude. You can simulcast me. I'll still get way more. Right now, I've got 1,600 views on this. Legitimately. Oh, BWYA says he's live. Thank you for the message behind the scenes. He's triggered. That's why. He's triggered as hell. That's fine. He can be live. He's live because he got called out on the truth. And the truth hurts, Joshy. I don't care what you do. I'm not going to talk about you ever again. You can do whatever you want. The more that you try to come at me when I don't talk about you, the more of a fool you're going to look like. Because if everything that I said wasn't true, he wouldn't be triggered to go live and try to debunk it, right? And plus, he's getting paid for by Texas Caregiver. We all know that, right? You mess with the bull, Joshy Poo, and now you're getting the horns. If I was you, Anna, you made this mistake once already, and you're making it again. If you're laundering money for Joshy Poo, you're putting you and your kids at a great legal risk with the IRS. You're funneling that money through your accounts, which is traceable. Think about that. Think about what you're doing to your kids and your family. All because you want a man so badly. And because when you were close to 300 pounds, you had to settle for the bottom of the barrel of men, right? But now you're getting into better shape, right? So maybe when you get to, your nominal weight level, which I know you're working on that, and I'm proud of you for that, maybe you'll be able to attract more decent men that aren't scumbags that are going to use you to launder money because they're a failure within themselves. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. 3 failed marriages, right? And people criticize me for never getting married. You know why I've never been married? Because if I ever do get married, I'm going to do it right the first time. As far as I'm concerned, all of you are buried. You buried yourselves. I didn't bury you. You buried yourselves. I don't have to bury you. You buried yourselves. I just put the story together in a nice, big box with a nice bow on top of it. Joshy Poo. That's all I did. That's all I did. And that's all I have to say. We are at 3 hours and 6 minutes. I'm going to get on out of here, folks. Enjoy my day, and I'll be back tomorrow. I doubt I'm going to go live again later today. Who knows? I might feel like it. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I won't. But this is the redemption I needed. This is what I needed for myself, to clear my conscience and my head, and to get rid of this stress that's been practically almost killing me. Queen says they are 6 feet under. You're damn right, Queen. Have yourselves a great day. I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Bye.